George Clooney in the movie Up in the Air plays this Axeman, where his job is to go in and make people redundant in their tens of thousands. And at one point he's in conversation with this guy, middle-aged man played by a great actor called J.K. Simmons. And he said to Simmons, who was quite upset with the fact that he was being let go, he said to Simmons, how much do they pay you to give up on your dreams? And Simmons was all indignant and said, what do you mean, how much they pay me to give up my dreams? I haven't given up my dreams at all. Clooney opened his resume and pointed out the fact that, you know, way back in the day he had trained as something like a French patisserie chef, but now he was an accountant or some such thing. And so he asked again, how much did they pay you to give up on your dreams? And you could see Simmons' face changing, and he realised, yes, I did. I did give up my dreams because I got caught in the fur-lined mousetrap. We've spoken about that before, and I sacrificed my dreams for the paycheck. Hello there and welcome to the Coffee with Colm, and thanks for joining me. This week I want to ask a question, and the question is, what happened to you between 15 and 40? In other words, why did you give up on your dreams between the age of 15 and 40? Oscar Wilde is famous for saying that as he got a little older, he's famous for saying that I'm not young enough anymore to know absolutely everything. And I think that's lovely. But it reminds me that most teenagers are fearless. They're bulletproof. They can take on the world. They're going to be whatever they're going to be. In fact, my own youngest daughter in her early teens said one day, I'm not sure what type of famous I'm going to be when I grow up. Now that's suggesting that it's a given. It's only a question of in what field and for what contribution. Now, I'm not for 1 second suggesting that I endorse the Kardashian famous for being famous type of fame, but why can't she be famous in the future? Well, why would I knock that out of her? So the real question is, what has happened to you between 15 and 40? And to a large extent, it doesn't matter what's happened to you between 15 and 40. The only question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do from here? Because we can't turn the clock back, but we can look at the next 25 years and we can decide to do something different. Why are millions out there trying to be average? Why are so few people out there trying to be exceptional? That's why there's so little competition at the top. Millions are out there trying to be average. And the question is, are you one of those people who's trying to be average, or have you still got that fire in your belly, or can you dig deep and find out who did you want to be at age 15 that you're not now? Who did you want to be at age 15 that by the time you got to age 40 you said, do you know what, it's game over, it didn't quite work out the way I had hoped it would, didn't quite work out the way I had planned? Well, if it didn't, what are you going to do about it? You know, you are the author of the book of your life. Most people, I've said it before, most people live their lives like they're reading a novel waiting to see how it all turns out. So long as you've got breath in your body, you can do something about it. And the question is, what are you going to do about it? Question is, have you a big enough dream that you can actually take steps towards? You need to get your mindset right every day, and you need to get your mood state right every day. Does that happen for me easily? No. But I work on it every single day. I work to get my mindset right, and I work to get my mood state right. And you can do the same. We're human beings, and as human beings, we have the gift of free will. We can use that free will to enhance our lives, enhance the world around us, or we can use that free will to ruin us. It's entirely our decision. What if our lives were filmed 24/7, like the Truman Show? Remember the Truman Show where Jim Carrey was in this bubble, and his entire life was a movie set? Well, what if your life and my life was filmed and broadcast to the world 24/7? What changes would you make? And I think it's fair to say we'd all make some, right? Some of us would make more than others, but we'd all make some changes if our life was being filmed 24/7 and broadcast to the world. So the question that I'm posing for you is, what changes do you need to make the next 25 better than the last 25, if the last 25 didn't get you where you thought you wanted to be? And so what happened to you between 15 and 40? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happened to you between 15 and 40, because we can't turn the clock back, can't go back to change any of it. So what happened to you between 15 and 40 is what happened to you between 15 and 40 in those 25 years. The only question, the only thing worth putting any time and thought and effort into is, what are you going to do for the next 25? And thank you for joining me for this week's Coffee with Colm. I hope and trust as ever that you got something from it. Please consider what's been shared here today and apply it into your thinking for this next week, and take a step towards your next 25. Finally, please come back next week. Most importantly, come back next week. Let's share another coffee together. Meantime, get some R&R, get some fresh air. If you spend a lot of time alone, go meet some people. If you spend a lot of time with people, please go meet yourself and spend a little time alone. And then please come back next week and we'll share another coffee together and see where it takes us. Cheers. Oh, love great coffee. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.